Good morning to everybody. You are welcome again once more to Intelligentsia Network. And as usual, we always give you guidelines in map reading. Today we shall talk about much about how to find directions on a topographic map. And we all know that directions on a topographic map actually tells us the position of a particular feature on the map. In map work, you are likely to be asked to find the direction of the place on the map or the position where it is standing on that map. For example, a hill may be actually said to be found on the west of the map. A river may be described as flowing southward or maybe flowing northward. Similarly, a place may be directly or may be directed to be found 45 degrees northeast of the map. And how do we actually come out with all this is by looking at the compass direction as well as the bearing of the place on the map. And it should be known that it is absolutely wrong to say that a feature is found at the top or bottom part of the map. It is actually not geographical to mention that a feature is actually found on the top or bottom part of the map. So like I earlier mentioned, we are going to use compass directions as well as bearings. But before we continue, we look at, first of all, the compass direction and what they are all about. Okay? Now, talking about the compass direction, when we talk about compass direction, we should understand that the compass is just like the image which you have there on the board. And the image there actually shows us some letters. You see the north, east, south, and the west. Is the image we're talking about here. And actually there are 16 cardinal points on the compass. And we are going to look at these 16 cardinal points and how to actually get these 16 cardinal points. It is pretty simple. Now let us look at this diagram on the board. Good. The diagram which you have on the board there shows us the 16 cardinal directions which are actually found on the compass. The first one is the north and the south. They are very important because they actually represent the north pole and the south pole. Now what divides them is the east and the west. Now it tells us now that these are the four main cardinal directions: the north, south, east, and west. Now to come out now with the intermediate cardinal directions, which are the northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. References given first to the axis of the earth, which is the north pole and the south pole, before we talk about the divides, which is the east and the west. The reason why we will not say that in between the north and the east we have the east north. Instead, we have in between the north and the east, we have what we call the northeast. In between the south and the east, we have the southeast. In between the south and the west, we have the southwest. In between the north and the west, we have the northwest. We will come in between the main cardinal point and its divide to have now the minor cardinal directions, the minor cardinal point that will some constitute on the 16 main cardinal point. We also follow the same principle when reading. We concentrate much on the major cardinal point like this, and this. So we are going to read as such. In between the north and the northeast, we are going to have north of northeast. So north of northeast. That's what we are presenting as north of northeast. In between the east and the north, we are going to have east of northeast. So we have here east of northeast. In between the east and the southeast, we are going to have east of southeast. Measure is given here. And in between the south and southeast, we are going to have south of southeast. Now, in between the south and the southwest, we are going to have south of southwest. In between the west and the southwest, we are going to have west of southwest. In between the west and the northwest, we are going to have west of northwest. And in between the north and the northwest, we are going to have north of northwest. When we do all that, we have come out, we have actually given a reference of 16 cardinal points on the board there. Now, these cardinal points, when given values, are referred now to as bearings. So the bearing, we talk about bearings now, we are referring to a more precise way to indicate directions with the use of figures and with the use of a protractor. What do we refer to here as a protractor? A principal image of the protractor is what we have here. This is actually a protractor, and we're going to use this one to come out with a bearing whenever we want to look for the bearing of a particular place. Alright, now we'll go back to the diagram, which should be really hard. And talking about bearings, we will understand here that when we put a protractor in this manner, we are reading the values which are actually found on top. And we always read clockwise and not anti-clockwise. And therefore the protractor is always placed as well clockwise and not anti-clockwise. Now, in the protractor, the first value you have there is 0 degrees. And 0 degrees tells us that if you go around also, you have a circle. And the complete circle, as we know, is 360 degrees. The complete circle is 360 degrees. And therefore, we are going to see how we can come out the bearing of the northwest, for example. The bearing of the southwest. It's pretty simple, guys, and just follow up the lesson. Now, given that the north is 0 degrees, it means the south is going to be 180 degrees. Now, if the north is 0 degrees and the south is 180 degrees, it means that the east, which divides it into half of 180 degrees, if you look at half of 180 degrees, it's equals to 90 degrees. Good. Now, half of 180 degrees also going to move towards this first section now is also 90 degrees. But the question now is, are we going to represent actually 90 degrees here on the board? No, it is pretty wrong to do so. What we are going to do rather is, we are going to, since we are reading clockwise, we are going to do a summation of what value we have here to 180 degrees. And since we have already 90 degrees here, it means always say 90 plus 180 degrees. So if you take 90 plus 180 degrees, mathematically it's going to give us 270 degrees. And if you come back here now, we are going to return back now to the north, which is 360 degrees. Good. Now we are going around the circle. Now to come out now with the bearing of the other places, it is simple. If, for instance, here is 0 degrees and here is 90 degrees, half of 90 degrees will give us what we call the bearing of the northeast. And if you look at half of 90, you can say here it's going to be 45 degrees. So half of 90 is actually 45 degrees, which means the northeast here is 45 degrees. And having gotten it at 45 degrees, it means that here is also 45 degrees. But since we have already crossed 90, we are not going to write here 45 degrees. No. We are going to do a summation of 90 plus 45 degrees. So if you take, for example, if you say 90 plus 45, we are going to have our answer as 135 degrees, I beg your pardon. So here we're going to have 135 degrees. Now 135 degrees plus 45 is going to give us 180 degrees. Now 180 degrees plus 45 again, we also have southwest plus 45. Good. 180 degrees plus 45 is going to give us about 225 degrees. 225 degrees plus 45 will give us 270. And 270 plus 45 degrees should give us 315 degrees. I think it's better we calculate it. We have 270 plus 45 equals to 315 degrees. We are actually right. Now, we have gotten that for the intermediate cardinal points. Now, coming out with the bearing of the minor cardinal points like the north of northeast, east of northeast is also very simple. We understand that from here to here is 45 degrees, and therefore here is half of 45 degrees. Half of 45 degrees is actually about 22.5 degrees. So 22.5 degrees which means that we're going to be adding now, in this case, 22.5 to all the values that we have. For instance, 22.5 plus 45 degrees will give us this value. So if we take 22.5 plus 45 degrees, it's going to give us 67.5 degrees. 67.5 degrees plus 22.5 is going to give us 90 degrees. Now 90 degrees again plus 22.5. So take 90 plus 22.5 is going to give us 112.5 degrees. So here we have 112.5 degrees plus 22.5 is going to give us 135 degrees. Now 135 degrees, 135 degrees plus 22.5 is going to give us 157.5 degrees. We have 157.5 degrees south of southeast. Now, here we continue till we get up to 360 degrees. So remember that we have 180 degrees already here. If you take 180 plus 22.5 is going to give us 202.5 degrees. We are going to continue that till you reach up to 360 degrees. Then that is your bearing. Now, we have gotten how to come out with bearings, but the problem now is on map reading. When you come to map reading, what are you supposed to do when you have this situation? Let us look at the practical example of a map work. Okay, let's consider that we have a map as this, which we have over on the board. Little Plumpton, the map of Little Plumpton, and we are asked to come out with the cardinal direction and bearing of particular places found on the map. Consider that we have point B, point B, point C, and we have point D that we have on the map there. And we are supposed to come out with the cardinal direction. What are the principles that we have that we need to do? First thing is, let's consider the equation. The equation is given that states the cardinal, state the bearing and cardinal direction. The following points. The first point is point B from point A. Okay. If we have this question like this, state the cardinal direction of the following points for point B from point A. We have point B here and this point A. We want to come out with the cardinal direction and the bearing of point B, given that our standing position is point A. What are we supposed to do? First thing first is to draw a cross across point A. Follow guys, literally, you draw a cross, small cross, like this, across point A. Good. That's a cross which is drawn. And then you draw another straight line that links point A and point B. A straight line that links point A and point B. You can see guys, this is a straight line that links point A and point B. Now you come down in your protractor, as I earlier mentioned, I'm going to use a protractor to do this exercise. I'm going to use my protractor. I have this line, a black line, which is at the center of my protractor. So I'm going to centralize it on point A. I'm going to place it as such, making sure that the 0 degree line falls on the straight line which was drawn, and the black line falls on the other line that divides. From here, I can easily read the value that falls on this line. The value that falls on this line is actually 60 degrees. From point B is 60 degrees. Now 60 degrees, now the question is 60 degrees, where is it found? Which cardinal direction is it found? Knowing fully well that the northeast is 45 degrees, it means 60 degrees is really more than 45 degrees, and therefore it cannot be found in the north of northeast. It is rather found in it's found rather in the east of northeast. So this 60 degrees is actually found on east of northeast. So point B from point A, we see that it is found at 60 degrees east of northeast. It's that simple, guys. So we follow the same procedure to also look for point D, which is found on the map, or point C, which is also found on the map. Now, if for instance, we have been asked to rather come out with the cardinal direction and the bearing of point A from point B, this is where we need to pay more attention. We follow the same procedure. We are going to draw a cross across point B. Draw a cross like this across point B. We are going to link point B to point A with a straight line. Good. Linking point B to point A, we consider that this is only going around, we already have 180 degrees here. Now we want to come out with a small bearing that we have here, and we swap it to 180 degrees, guys. Very simple. So this is what we do. My protractor is like this, I turn it like this. Now 180 degrees is facing up, and 0 degrees is facing down. I place my protractor at the center of the line. Great. I read again. The value which I have is 60 degrees. So I have 60 degrees here. But it is wrong to say that the bearing of point A is 60 degrees, because we really know we have 180 degrees here. So rather, if you write to sum up 180 degrees plus 60 degrees. So if you take a calculator, if we say 180 degrees plus 60 degrees is going to give us 240 degrees. So actually point A from point B is found at 240 degrees. So that is how to come out with the bearing and cardinal direction. Now it is found at 240 degrees in which direction? We all know that 240 degrees it is above 225 degrees, which is the south of southwest. Therefore, it is really found in the direction of the west of southwest. Good. So, in the digital network, really so much appreciate you for always patronizing our videos. And whenever you share, you know that you're always extending knowledge to reach across borders. And please, for those who have not yet subscribed, I pray you do so, so that we can share more lessons, more videos, interesting one on geography and other aspects of social sciences. I pray you enjoy your time with us, and see you next time. Love you.